Senator Conway.
I'd like to agree with the sentiments expressed by Senator O'Brien at the outset of the order of business in terms of the Inclusion Ireland report concerning speech and language therapy in this country. And indeed, the sentiments expressed are correct. I think nobody in this House would stand over the appalling record of dealing with young children at an extremely important and vulnerable age in their life in order to ensure that they get the best start. And indeed, I was even more troubled to discover that the situation in the Clare, Limerick and North Tipperary area is particularly troubling. There's 18 speech and language therapists for the entire Midwest area, and instead of dealing with a caseload of 50 each, which would be the appropriate number of cases that a speech therapist would have to deal with, they're dealing with an average of 203. Now, if you're meeting 203 people on an ongoing basis, you'd barely remember them. Now, to talk about remember the detail for each case specific. So I think that this situation is a crisis point, and I would urge the leader to seek a very urgent debate with the Minister for Health. It may not be practical to have the Minister for Health in today, but I think it certainly would be practical and indeed necessary and imperative that the Minister for Health would come in here at very early course to deal with this. It is only when these figures are released and we realise the absolute appalling situation that people are in that action sometimes happens. Various different speech and language therapists will be telling us about their own specific caseload and how difficult and challenging it is, and how challenging it is to put in to deal with it. But it's actually when it's chronicalised on a national basis, and you see that children in Clare, Limerick and North Tipperary are not getting the same service as children in other areas, well then that is going against the 2005 Disability Act, which is the act governing this, and it also goes against our constitution, because our constitution states that every child should be treated equally. Well, that clearly isn't happening. So I think it's extremely important that the Minister for Health does come in here and account for this appalling service.
Senator Thomas Byrne.